doing out there? Having a good time? Say hello in the chat if you're hanging out with me today. I am technically challenged today because my internet is, whoa, is it being a dog. I think this Thursday afternoon thing is 2 o'clock seems to be a very busy time, so we may have to revisit this time frame. But all things said and done, I had to basically do the worst. I have to broadcast over Wi-Fi, which I'm not thrilled about. So we'll see how it goes. We're gonna give this a shot. Today's lesson, if I will, the thing I'm cooking is a little on the smaller side, so we're going to spend a little time kind of going through that. I'm basically going to do two things. I'm going to do crepes today, and I'm going to do some, we'll do a French omelet. So French omelets, I think, are very, very nice omelets. They just recently rediscovered them, and they are just so soft and tender. It's really something amazing. So I want to make sure that I kind of cover these things today. So we are going to do crepes first. So I tend to like a container that's going to be a little tall. Reason for this is that the container, when I stick my blender in there, I want it to be able to have some height to be able to get a blend on. So there is that. So get that guy. We need, we're going to start with 3 tablespoons of butter, and we're going to melt that. So into the microwave it goes. Just a quick 30-second hit. And then we also need to add, we're going to do 2 whole eggs. So I like to put them in the bottom. All right, let me get that butter. All right. All right, so we are going to add our butter. We're also going to add our milk. So this is 3/4 of a cup of milk. We're going to add 1/2 cup of water. All right, so in you go. And then we're just going to take this and blend it. All right. Into that, well, got ahead of myself. Got some flour. All right. So now into all those ingredients, we're going to blend. Now, again, I like my stick blender, but you could just as easily use a regular blender or even a whisk. But this tends to add some air bubbles into it. So whether you're using this or you're using a regular mixer, you will want to take this and let it sit in the fridge for about, call it 20 minutes to an hour. So we're going to put that away. I kind of guess I need a fridge cam, don't I, if I'm going to do that and disappear. Now, the cool thing about crepes is that crepes tend to, I'm not liking this video, guys. I might just call this. I might just do the crepes and be done with it. I'm not too happy with the quality we're getting. I usually hardwire a connection to my router, and it's just wasn't having it today. I don't know why all of a sudden it picks. It always seems to be the Thursday, Friday one where I get that issue. So I might need to just get a longer internet cable. All right, so let's see. Let's give you this camera shot here. So this guy is, this is a blue steel metal pan. I really like this one for, this is literally a crepe pan. But it's blue steel and it's designed specifically to be like light and thin. When you're doing crepes, you don't want to get too hot. All right, we just want to keep it in the in that medium range, medium low. This is a big burner, so this guy goes really fast. So, all right, just warm it up. All right, the other thing we're going to need to do, I hate it when drawers won't close. I've got way too much junk in that drawer. All right, so we're heating up our pan. We're melting some butter. All right, so you see the butter kind of sit here, melted away. And that is going to be used in our pan every single time. So we got our batter that we made, very, very simple batter. The cool thing about crepes is that you can make them ahead of time. So you don't have to eat them right away. You can make them ahead of time. Heck, you can even freeze them if you want. So it's really cool, but you got to freeze them cooked. You don't get to freeze the batter. All right, and I'll be honest with you, the first one is always junk. That's just life. All right. So we got this. So I'm just going to take some of the butter, and we're just going to put that on here. All right. Now, this is tricky because we want to pour and we want to move the pan at the same time, because the pan, it'll start to cook as soon as it hits the pan. All right, and you want them in one nice thin layer. You'll figure out, like when you use your ladle once or twice, exactly how much goes in. But thin layer, just keep it going. All right. And then we're just going to let it sit. Again, very low heat. I even turn off my butter once it's completely melted. All right. Now, you can use just a long, thin spatula. That's fine. But the trick is you want something that's going to cover the whole length of the crepe. Because when we flip these, generally you use a tool. Chefs will start using our hands. The first one's always a little tricky, but this is just like a little, there's a crepe one. They actually make really, really thin wood ones that are very cool as well. Now you can kind of see here, it's just starting to set. Let it keep going. All right, I don't flip crepes I don't toss a pan and flip crepes. We don't do that in restaurants unless you have really, really, really super slick pans. All right. Now, two schools of thought, whether you want color on your crepes or no color on your crepes. I like a little color. I think it helps add a little variety to a crepe. Makes them a little more interesting and visually fun to look at. So I let mine go a little longer. All right, and I'm just going to turn my heat up gradually because I feel like this is taking a little too long to cook. So just Very, very, very small increments. All right, just starting to get there. Yep. All right, so I can flip it, but you know, I'm sorry, it's a lot of wasted energy to flip. But the trick is dial your temperature, okay? So just micro adjustments right now, just trying to get it like absolutely perfect. All right, it only takes about a third of the time on the back. It doesn't take that long. And then you just basically take that guy and lay him right on a tray. All right, now right back in, little bit of butter. And then remember, we're going to pour and move. Oh, that's going to be a thick one. So a little too much on the batter. You want just one coat. All right, we're just going to let that go. So the coolness helps kind of set that batter a little bit, makes it nice and thin, but it pours and rolls really easy. If your batter is really, really fresh and you don't give it that little rest, it doesn't move around the pan as easily as that. The other thing I like about it is you can make the batter a day ahead of time. Okay, so you can make the crepes ahead of time, you can make the batter ahead of time. Nothing's better than taking these crepes, putting some stuffing in there, rolling them up. If I'm doing a sweet one, I will do a fold like that. Maybe a little Nutella right here. Okay. We'll just pile them in a stack like this and cover it with plastic wrap. And then if you want lunch, you go get a couple crepes, put a filling in there, and go. It's that simple. But just like that. All right, so I'm looking around the edges here. I want to see it dry up a little bit. All right, so the spatula method, when you go in, I don't know how good the video is I grab it less than halfway, and then I just roll and drop at the same time. So that's second method for turning a crepe over. Oh, these smell so good. So good. Really wish my stream was working so much better today. I'm going to have to solve this because Chris Cooks needs to continue to happen. I'm sorry. Maybe what I'll do is I'll try and record this, and then that way I can put it out as a little separate video. All right, so you've made your crepe batter. We melted some butter. I got my pan. My pan is on you can see here, it's on a very medium-low heat, okay? And this is not a lot of butter here. My pan is getting slicker and slicker every time I do this. We're going to take... For this ladle, this is a 3-ounce ladle. You probably only need about 1.5 ounces. Drop it in the center, and then remember to move it. This pan's getting a little hot. I can hear it sizzling when it's hitting. There we go. Perfect amount. All right, move your pan. They don't have to be perfectly circular here, people. Crepes can be a little irregularly shaped. Irregularly? That's a fun word to say. And we're just going to let this cook until it starts to look completely dry across the surface. All right? You can tell here it's just starting to get all nice and easy. Crepes are fun. The thing I like about crepes is that I can do crepes two ways, right? I can do a nice sweet crepe. We could do Suzette. I have caramel we could add in here. Some Nutella is always wonderful. Nutella banana, Nutella strawberry. It doesn't take much. A little Nutella, by the way, goes a very long way. But one of my favorites is I like doing like a chicken and broccoli and cheddar. I love that in a crepe. That's like one of my favorite breakfast crepes of all time. All right, so we'll flip it again with our spatula. So remember, when I go in the spatula, I'm going in here across the top half. Like if you drew a line at the equator, go above that. And then I'm just picking it up, then like a roll and a drop. All right. I like color on my crepes. If you don't and you want them very blonde, that's completely fine and cool. Just drop your temperature a little bit and do this a little slower. That's how you're going to get that. All right. Yeah, I don't see anybody in there today. I'm really sorry, guys. Nobody's in chat. That's fine. I get it. This stream's a little messed up today. Beautiful. Off it goes. In goes a little butter. I always use a brush, okay, because I don't want too much in there. Half a ladle, so an ounce and a half of batter inbound, right in the center, and as soon as it starts to hit, start rolling your pan. I love it. This is my blue steel crepe pan, designed just for this. Booyah. See, they don't have to be perfectly round. It happens. Like maybe I grabbed a little less. A little less. Hey, Patrick, how's the stream look? Because to me, it's not looking very good. It's rough. I had to go Wi-Fi today. My wired connection was giving me trouble. Kept dropping in and out. My crepe chat guest. All right, so we're gonna go in here. Now, when we're chefs, we just we'll literally just pick up the crepe and drop it over. Not too crazy, but what you want to do when you're doing crepes is you want to do all of your batter, okay? We'll see how far I go here, but we usually just do all of this, get them all made. Because, like I said, I can cover this with plastic wrap after it's cooled down, and I can put them in. Yeah, sorry about that. All right. Also, letting the batter cool down for about 20 minutes is going to help make it a little more solid and less air bubbles, which means your crepes won't be lacy and they'll stay together better. All right. Crepes are a great breakfast alternative. I like them for lunch. I like them for a snack. They all do that really, really well. All right. So go through our batter, just making some, stacking them up. Now, we're just going to do the crepes today, and I think I'm going to call that, so we're only going to be here for a little bit longer. All right. I just want to do a couple more so you can kind of see that wrist action a little bit better. The wrist. It's all on the wrist, right? All right. Take your spatula top half and roll it off the spatula. Zoolander. No, this is DeBuyer. Just a good blue steel. This is literally crepe pan. You can also use it for fried eggs and things like that. But this is the pan you want to use for crepes. Okay. Now, I could use my non-sticks. They're completely fine. Just try to get honed in on that temperature. That's the whole trick. And yes, even though this is a pretty slick surface, I still want to butter it every time. Yeah, I've never done that in my life, right? Come on. Fill those holes. Do. Need some coffee. We are running out. I'm not running out of coffee. I'm just personally I'm running out. All right. Let's do a couple more. The next one, let me get some Nutella. All right. I also have some nice fresh caramel sauce that we made. Oh, and look at that. Look at that. Oh, it's so good. All right, so when you take the crepe off, the bottom side that you just took off is usually the bottom, so you want that pretty outer side. All right, if I'm doing a Nutella, I'm going to fold it in half. Can you see that? Yeah, so I'm going to fold it in half like that. And then you don't need much. Just gently kind of put a little layer in there and then fold it over on itself. Now you could dust that with a little 10x sugar maybe. So good. Crepes are just so tender. They're a great breakfast alternative. They don't have to be breakfast. You can make savory ones. Like I was saying earlier. Ham and cheese. Those crepes, the chicken cheese, goat cheese, chicken goat cheese, and broccoli, love it, love it, love it, love it. Mmm. Oh yeah, it totally needs to be in there. And the thing is that these just have this light butter flavor that's just kind of in there. So good. You want to have some other fun. Maybe you're making, the chicken crepes I talked about, or maybe you want to put some salmon stuffing in there. Add a little like fresh dill or some fresh herbs into the crepe batter because crepe batter is naturally not sweet. So you can make them savory very easy. Put a pinch of salt in there. Do some chopped fresh herbs. Well, you can keep the blue cheese to yourself, Patrick. You can have all the blue cheese. I don't need any of it. I don't need it. I really hope I get this setup figured out because I love it. I got a great overhead cam. Over here. It's over here. It's over here. It's over there. Where is it? But it's been a little rough today, so we're gonna have to figure that out. I think I'll just we'll try ordering a nice big fat long Cat 5 cable and run this all the way down into my basement. We'll buy a 50-footer and see how it goes. I really enjoy cooking and spending my Thursday afternoons with you. Because let's face it, this is you need smell-o-vision though. I need to hook up the smell microphone. Is that how that would be done? Would there be a smelly microphone if we did that? I don't know. All right. That'll be a little better. Give me a little elbow room. Once you kind of get in production mode, you just go, go, go. And like I said, we're going to be eating these for the next couple days. Actually, even longer because now we have double the amount of batter. I mean, when you think about it, everybody's like, oh, that's so much butter, but it's really not. I'm not really putting a lot on here. Like there's maybe 3 tablespoons in that pot when I started. There's some butter in the crepe itself, and that's kind of helping along. But ultimately, it's not a lot. It's just helps keep the pan slick. I do crepes enough. That's why I went and got this pan, and oh, I love it. I think it was under 20 bucks. It's not an expensive pan for sure. Oh, you're seeing just how disgusting my stove is. I don't love glass tops, but man, I love being able to cook on my island. Makes my life so much easier. So much easier. My crepe could be so much cheesier, right? All right. Moving right along. We've only got like 2 left, so we'll do these 2 and then we're going to call it a day. Sorry about the French omelet. I want to save that one. We'll do that again. And maybe I'll even do these again because I really want you guys to get a nice crack at them. These things are 1/16 of an inch thick, not very thick at all. All right. Got my fresh caramel. I don't know what I'm going to do with that yet. I keep trying to find uses for it. We use that for like, pouring over profiteroles or something like that. When I worked at one restaurant, we actually used to have a crepe of the day. And it was, you used to have to gather all your leftover stuff and throw it in a crepe. It was kind of exciting. All right, last one. You can still see I got half this butter's left. So. Alrighty. So we're going to finish this one up. I'm going to cut this one short. I'm not loving the quality today, so I think we'll revisit this again. We'll do another one of these. I'm going to go order a nice big long cable off of Amazon. Amazon Bing Bong. And then try to figure out exactly why I'm having connection problems. Because, man, you do not want to be sending video over Wi-Fi. So I'm gonna let you guys go. Thanks for watching. We did half an hour. I'm okay with that. Given our current situation, I will let it go. So thank you all out there. Stay safe. Have some fun. Hopefully through all that, you kind of at least saw some of the process for making crepes, um, and got to hang out a little bit. I always enjoy hanging out with you, Patrick. You're always fun to hang out with. So thanks so much, and we'll see you next time.